Hello friends, in today's class we will be discussing about time management. The most successful professionals say that time is money. How can we understand that time is money? So let us try to understand the importance of time and the time management, because this is the only resource that is added to our resource base on everyday basis. What is that? Every day consists of 24 hours, and these 24 hours are equally available to each and every one of us who have taken birth on this earth. May it be any country, may it be any religion, may it be any state, or may it be any continent, whatever it is, every one of us are having equal access to this time. The difference is how I am making use of my time. Somebody emerges as successful because he is making the efficient use of time, and somebody is unsuccessful or is not able to reach his goal because of his poor management practices of time. With this brief outline, I would like to request you all to get ready with a pencil and a pen and a paper, because now we are into the process of a quiz, a small quiz. There are 10 questions that you will be, your screen will be getting now, one by one. After going through these questions, you should write answer as yes or no. That's all. When you write it on a plain paper, try to write 1 to 10, a serial number, then get ready. So once the question comes before you, read the question. I will be repeating the question also. Then after that you say it is yes or no. So then we will analyze the results. What are the outcomes of this quiz? Are you ready now? Shall we start with this quiz? Okay. The first question to answer you as yes or no. For all the questions, your answer will be yes or no. I hope all of you are ready now. So let us start with. The first question is, do you estimate how many hours you will need to study each week? Whether you are estimating your time per week, I am investing 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, whatever it is, if you are estimating it, write it as yes, otherwise no. I hope you are done with the first answer. Second one. Do you meet assignment deadlines as a student? Whatever the tasks that are given, so are you meeting the deadlines? Say yes or no. Write yes or no. Do you begin working on semester long projects early in the semester, at the beginning of the semester itself, because the tasks are already assigned to you? If you are beginning it, yes, otherwise no. Do you write a daily to-do list? What I should do today, that early in the morning that I am planning, and I am going with my planning every day? Yes or no. Do you prevent social activities from interfering with your study time? Say yes or no. Do you have assignment that requires fewer than 10 hours a week? Whatever the task based on your specialization, subject, whatever that you are studying. The seventh question is, do you set specific goals for each study period? Maybe it is one day, whatever the target that I have today. Eighth one is, do you begin your study time with your most difficult subject or assignment? Because every student has a perception, this is the most difficult subject for me. Maybe for another individual that is easy, but for him something else is difficult. So when I begin with that, so that makes my job simpler. Yes or no. Do you complete most of your studying during your most productive hours of each day, because early morning hours are considered as the most productive hours, because as the day goes on, we are into various activities, our energy levels goes on reducing. Then after taking rest, we get energized and we start again doing. So that depends on you. Then the last question is, do you treat being a full-time student like a full-time job? Because when you are into a professional situation, your nature of work is something different. When you are a student, your nature is something different. But do you consider your study as your job? So this is what is the meaning here. So I hope all of you might have answered yes or no. Try to count the number of yes and the number of no's. For every yes, you need to assign the marks of 1. For every no, it is 0. Then total it. So now we will move on to the analysis of the result of this quiz what we try to present before you. If your score is between 8 to 10, 8, 9 or 10, you are doing well managing your time, maybe you need to change maybe 1 or 2 things where you said no. Try to go back to those questions and try to make necessary corrections in that. If your score is between 5 and 7, you are an average learner and have some good time management skills, but clearly you need some help from others, maybe your friends or family members, whosoever it is. If it is between 1 to 4, you are a very poor manager of time. You should get a plan together for how you want to address this particular issue. You again go back to your answer sheet and try to evaluate all these questions, then try to manage your time. So now we will be looking into some issues associated with this time management. The famous quotation with the time management says that failing to plan is planning to fail. If I don't plan what I am going to do today and this week and this month and this year, it means if I don't do this, I am planning myself to fail in my all efforts. So this is what is the importance of time management. 5 basic principles of time management says that be realistic about the task. In one of our previous class, we were talking about setting smart goals or smart objectives. So we need to be smart here. What is the smart? Specific, measurable, realistic, then achievable and within the time. So like that I need to plan on that. Then be determined. Limit distractions or displacements. Number of distractions that you might be coming while discussing about the communication, also we were talking of many distractions that we come across. So like that in our day-to-day life, there are many such things, I need to be aware of that. Then be organized, maybe it is books or pens or coffee or whatever the choice that I have, whatever the behaviors or the habits that I have, I need to be organized myself so that I can manage my time in a very effective manner. Then balance the other parts of your life, because as a student it is not only the study, or as a professional it is not only the job that you have. You have family, you have friends, you have relations and you have other social commitments, but I need to establish the balance between all these activities by managing my time. Then the 5th principle is be flexible, because things may change. Today I planned something, but there is some emergency, maybe my friend is not well, I have to take him to hospital, it was not in my schedule, but I need to spare some time and I need to do some extra work so that I am covering the loss because of this particular activity. Many such things may come across. Accordingly, I need to be flexible, and whatever the time that I am spending in other activities, that needs to be compensated in due course of time. Time management is to balance the things between the needs and wants. Most of the time, we use both these terms in a synonymously, needs and wants. But there is a basic difference between the need and want, and it is very important for time management. So, that is why I am trying to put before you. The needs are limited, but the wants are unlimited. So, this is what is the first thing that I need to understand. So, if I look into the needs, there are some basic needs. What is that? Food, clothing and shelter. How I am going to achieve that? I need to do certain efforts so that I can earn money, so that I can earn food, better clothing and better housing, whatever it is. But the wants are unlimited. If I want to purchase a shirt, so there are ranges are available. If I go with the branded, if I go with the imported, and if I go with the better quality of the cloth, so then the sky is the limit for that. Number of such examples that you might have come across. So, but you should have good clothing, clean and systematically. So, that is what is your need. But the range, the amount of money that you are going to spend, the amount of time that you are going to spend on enhancing its values, incremental values. So, there is no limit for that. So, that is what is your want. Try to understand these differences. I need to satisfy my basic needs first. So, once the needs are satisfied, so then you think of wants. Many times, without having proper understanding between the need and want, we start working on the wants, ignoring the needs. So, then there we start facing lot of problems. For the better understanding of the time management, we need to understand the time management that is very, very essential for the biscuit and tea. I hope all of you must have enjoyed the biscuit with a cup of tea or coffee or milk, whatever it is. So, if you keep that biscuit for more time within that particular hot coffee or tea or milk or whatever it is, you cannot eat it because it goes away from your hand. So, you need to maintain the time there. There is a specific time you need to dip it and take it out. If you are keeping it for maybe some more time, so then you will be losing your most precious or your favorite choice of eating that particular thing. So, that is what is the importance of time here. Then use personal time tabling to acknowledge what you have achieved. So, this you can do it on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. It is based on your timetable that you need to go for. Then save mental energy. You need to preserve your energy for taking up specific tasks where you are investing your time more. So, that depends on the priorities that you are setting. I need to study more, or I need to give maximum time for social activities, family activities, all these things, it is up to you. Then be purposeful and realistic, because I need to achieve my task. So, what is serving my purpose, and as a student what is expected from me, and as a professional what is expected from me. If I have that clarity, so then I can manage the time better. Then meet deadlines and keep up with the work. Easily you can do that. Maybe you are a student, maybe you are a professional, because you are going to enter into your profession shortly. So, you can easily meet these deadlines provided you manage your time. Then have effective study time and effective relaxation. Both the things are to be effective, because if you start studying maybe out of 24 hours more than 10 hours, so you get bored or you get fatigued and mentally stressed and all those things. So, then your abilities goes on reducing. So, that is why you need relaxation also in the form of entertainment, taking rest and all those things. So, you need to balance that. Enjoy yourself without guilt and worry. So, fix a time for that. So, how much time I will be, this is what I am talking about, the time budgeting. You need to have certain space for enjoyment also, but without guilt and worry, because if I play 1 hour cricket, I will be losing this much studies. No, you need to establish the balance between that. The casual dimensions of time management problems for the students. So, there are certain intrinsic or the emotional factors, and there are certain extrinsic as well as the external factors. So, try to understand one by one. If you look into the list of internal or intrinsic or emotional factors, feeling of overwhelmed and frozen by all the tasks. If I start feeling that, so then I will be losing something. Anxiety about what is expected of them and the quality of work. So, maybe my parents, my teachers or my office boss is having a lot of expectation from me, but if I think that I am unable to deliver that, so then that is an emotional factor. If you develop that feeling, so then you might be losing many things. Wanting to live up to other people's standards, no, it should not happen. You should not become emotional. Your friend might be wearing maybe a very costly shirt, because of that you need not be distracted. Whenever you get an opportunity, you can go for that, but as on date, you need to work on the existing situation. Wanting to live up to their own image of themselves. I might be thinking that in so and so film, so and so hero behaved like this, was wearing like this, or was having this amenity, but I don't have. All these things are emotional. Getting bored or low motivation, all these things are intrinsic factors. I need to have control over these things. Some of the extrinsic factors are also coming into the picture, like workload is heavy and appears overwhelming. Many times we are fed up with the targets, especially when we are into professional life, or if the teacher gives maximum number of assignments in a particular course, so that also we start feeling overloaded with the work. Then lack of clarity about what is expected from me. If I don't understand that, definitely it is one of the important factor, and that may lead to failures also. That is why I need to understand that. Then, not experienced in managing time independently. If I copy others, so I cannot be successful. I can get insights from various sources, may it be from seniors, juniors, parents, number of things, but I need to have independency in managing all these things. The cultural dimensions coming from the relaxed society about time, all those things, that also plays the factor, because family plays the dominant role here, and the culture in which that I am coming from. I may belong to South, I may belong to North or Central of India, North India, whatever it is. So, they also play some dominant roles, cultural factors. Then, if learning is not interesting, so that is another factor, because you may not like X teaching or the orders or whatever it is. So, that may also act as an extrinsic factor in management of the time as a problematic situation. How to avoid distraction? Start with unpleasant task first, so that you can overcome all those problems that what we discussed so far, so that you can enter into from unpleasant to the pleasant situation. Start yourself a time for, set yourself a time limit for reading. Whatever the study aspects as a student that you need to undergo, you have your own timetable for that, so that you can manage it in a very easy manner. So, there is no standard timetable, you need to have develop your own and keep on modifying it as you progress. Distraction problems can occur when the subject being studied appears totally removed from the real world. So, we may feel certain subject as very complicated subject, so then you develop such feelings, but you can make it simple by giving some additional time for that. If you find a particular recommended set of books are very hard, but there are many alternatives that you have. Maybe if you are not able to catch up with the classroom discussions, now there are number of online platforms wherein you can get the inputs. Maybe in the social media, maybe the websites of educational institutions, number of such platforms are available, so that you need to explore that. And if other students are distracting you, go somewhere else. You try to detach yourself from those, so that you can manage your time very effectively. 4 tips for managing time. The first one is start with unpleasant things, so that you can have the clarity. So, you completed that task very to begin with. Then set yourself a short time limit for reading. Maybe at a time 40 to 45 minutes, then you take a break, then another 45 minutes, then take another break, so that you can continue with that. Then don't struggle with the books that you find hard to read, so that you start searching for the alternatives that are available. maybe the video lectures or maybe various other PowerPoints that are available on the similar topic given by various other experts. There are a number of things. Then keep your working area clear of clutter. On an average, an Indian spends about 6 hours 15 minutes on internet. But what exactly I am looking for in that 6 hours 15 minutes? This is what is the Indian average. I might be spending more and somebody might be spending less, but 6 hours is a very significant time. So what we do during this period is the time management. If I am looking out for my educational content or my professional content, so then I am making the best use of my time. The most important word in time management vocabulary is to say no. Wherever you are not comfortable, whatever the things that appears that I should not do this, but out of compulsion if you agree to that, so then you are in dilemma, you are wasting a lot of time. But if you say no for that, so then you emerge as the successful individual because you are coming out of a lot of pressures out of that, so then you can enter into the activities of your choice. But it does not mean that for every activity you should say no, it should not happen. But wherever you are not comfortable under only such circumstances, try to say no and come out of that pressure and invest that time into some other activity. So here, we are coming across a paradigm for planning and prioritization. So which is more important and which is more urgent? So we all live in this particular dilemma. What is important and what is urgent? We need to understand that. So what is urgent and what is important, that should be my first priority. So that's why we have kept it in a quadrant 1. But how to recognize that? I will be giving you some indicative examples so that you can customize it based on your situation that you are facing. Then it is important but not urgent. So that is in the second quadrant. The third quadrant says that it is not important but it is urgent. It is not important for me, but for my institution or for my organization it is urgent. So that is why I need to pay some time for that. So that is why it is in the quadrant 3, and the quadrant 4 explains you which is not urgent and which is not important. So let us try to understand all these 4 quadrants with the help of examples one by one. Quadrant 1, which is focusing upon the urgent and important, it needs your immediate attention. For example, the situation may be of a crisis situation or a pressing problem that you might be facing, and the deadline driven projects that you are undergoing, maybe as a student or as a professional, or preparation for the meetings, or should be completed today, this is the last date, the deadline, or if these are not done today, there will be serious repercussions on individual, institution, department, whatever it is. So under such circumstances, we try to pay maximum time for that so that I can come out of that pressure by giving much attention to these things. Then the second quadrant, which says that which is important but not urgent. What is that? Preparation, because we say that the meeting is scheduled on that particular day, I have sufficient time, maybe 4 days, 5 days, 1 week, 10 days, whatever it is. So I can do it in a very comfortable manner. That is important, but it is not urgent. I did not pay time all the time today only. I can spare 1 hour every day because 1 week time is there, that is more than sufficient for me. Maybe it is preparations, presentation, planning, relationship building, recreation, empowerment. These cannot be done overnight or within that particular time. So unless it is not urgent and it is not important, I can spare some time for that. The quadrant 3 says that it is nice to do because it is urgent but not important. Urgent may be for individual under certain cases, and it is urgent for my institution for which that I am working. That also I need to keep in the mind. So that what are those situations that we come across? Some interruptions that might as an individual that I might have occurred, maybe in the studies or maybe in the profession, wherever it is. There are some important calls that I need to attend. If I receive a call from my director, if I receive a call from my vice chancellor, if I receive a call from my head of the department, that has to be attended because it is urgent. But it may not be important for me, but it is urgent because I am getting it from my higher ups. Then emails, some reports, meetings, many proximate pressing matters, or many popular activities that I need to take up. All these things are urgent but not important for me, but for my institution it is urgent. Then I need to understand about the not important and not urgent factors, because if I don't do it timely, then I will come across these things, and if I don't give any priority to that, so then I will be eliminated from this scenario. That is why this quadrant that I need to give some attention to that. What is that? There are some junk mails which are not important at all. There are some trivial situations wherein I am not a party. There are many busy works but I am not a party to that. There are some other people who can do that. Then some phone calls, the time thieves escape these activities. I can make those excuses, but I should not. Then these items are your time eaters, so that is why I need to pay extra attention to these things so that I can come out of these things very easily. So procrastination is another important aspect associated with the time management, because in case of procrastination we try to avoid doing things that needs to be done. Maybe it is an assignment, maybe it is a study, or maybe it is a project completion report, or whatever it is. I try to I have been given the task, but I am thinking that tomorrow I can do it, because tomorrow is holiday, I can do it. But this is what is procrastination. Once I postpone it, so then I will be the loser. I should not do that. Can lead to the feeling of guilt, inadequacy, depression, and self-doubt, because I myself is questioning my own abilities there, and because of that I am developing this guilty consciousness. Because of that I may enter into depression. All these things may happen if I enter into this procrastination issues. Then interferes with academic as well as the personal success, because I am postponing it unnecessarily. Otherwise I would have done it, but I am not doing that. So this is what is the major thing that I need to keep in mind. Not a good indicator of what you are truly capable of. Even though I have my the abilities to complete it today, but I am postponing it, I am procrastinating it, so then I will be the loser of that. So the most critical suggestion is, don't put the things off. You can be on the track by maintaining these things. So the founder of this home department, Benny Marcus, says that it is a misnomer that our talents make our success. Yes, talents are contributing in a particular way, but that is not the only way to achieve this success. They help, but it is not what we do well that enables us to achieve in things in the long run. It is what we do wrong about how we correct it that ensures long lasting success. So our talent is one aspect, but to organize it in a systematic manner, utilizing the best available time with us, so that becomes the more dominating factor in achieving the success, not only in the short run but in the long run also. So this is what we need to keep in the mind. With this, we are coming to the end of this discussion on time management. As I said in the beginning of my discussion, that time is equivalent to money, because the time saved is equivalent to the money earned, because you can make the best use of that in productive activities. Then understand the importance of time. It is not only your time, but others' time also you need to keep in the mind, because they are also equally contributing to various other factors. Then manage and use the time efficiently. So this is what I said in the beginning itself. Every one of us are having 24 hours in every day, but how I am making use of that time is more important in achieving the success, for which I need to set my priorities. So we saw all those things with the help of this paradigm, so that quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you understand that, so then definitely you can set your priorities. Then the last thing that I need to keep in mind is, a busy man finds time for everything. If I am lazy, I don't find time for anything. For everything I try to ask some excuses, but a busy man manages his time and does everything, and ultimately he achieves the success. So, this is what in a nutshell just I wanted to put before you. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Thank you.